Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is September 23rd, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. Pacific Northwest to the top right, got the Hawaiian Islands bottom left. You can see we've got some cold air spilled out over the Gulf of Alaska, and we'll take a look at what is going to happen over the next few days and when the next frontal system might arrive into the Pacific Northwest to give us some reprieve from some of the smoke that still continues across portions of eastern Washington. The Bear Gulch fire continues to produce some as well, but we'll dive in all those details here as we go through the video this morning. So here we are right now, and make sure to get out there and enjoy these days. I mean, with comfortable afternoon temperatures, nice sunny skies. That is if you're not around some of the smoke there, but most people are doing quite nice. Just absolutely gorgeous days and perfect temperatures. You can't draw it up much better. You can also see some of that cloud activity moving across Vancouver Island into western BC, some light precipitation associated with that. Now, taking a look at the fire smoke here and the high-resolution rapid refresh, there is some haze out there across the sky, and you can see some surface smoke across some of Chehalis County. Has been kind of nasty, and there's a Wildcat fire. Looks like it's kicking off a little bit of smoke. Bear Gulch is right there. Sugarloaf and I forget the Labor Mountain fire right near Highway 97 continues to burn out there as well. That's really the most active fire right now. Lightning strikes last 24 hours, nothing to speak of. Lightning detection system comes with this, and you still have plenty of time to get one of these to go ahead and prepare for our fall and our winter seasons. By the time we get into November here, you are going to be wishing for these nice days because we got a lot of rainfall that comes in at that time of year, and storm systems start rolling in. And it's very fun to have a weather station at your place of residence when that occurs. So click on the link down below to save some 10% off on that station. So taking a look around the Pacific Northwest, you can see all the people that now have one. Look at the Oregon, Washington coast, pretty well represented, except when you get a little bit further north on the rugged Washington coast, there's not that many people that live there. Vancouver Island, there's some stations out there as well, and some of British Columbia here. A lot less people across this portion of British Columbia. However, you can see not many stations. Now, taking a look here at the European model, this is a 500 millibars or 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere, about midway up. It gives us a good idea of where general ridge and trough positions are. You're going to see this ridge extended just north of this cutoff low across California. Almost a little bit of a Rex block action going where you got the high pressure kind of trapping this upper level low below it. And then we've got this trough still digging out over the Pacific Ocean here, still getting some above average heights across the Pacific Northwest. A brief flattening of the ridge, more precipitation in the western BC as we go through Thursday on in towards Friday. That moves out. Then we've got another system tries to move through western BC, western Washington, Oregon, Idaho being protected by this ridge in the meantime. But as we go through this weekend, there is some light at the end of the tunnel for the mossbacks here across the area as we start to bring in some more precipitation potentially as we go towards this weekend. And we'll take a look at more on that here in the extended runs and kind of compare some models in a bit. Now, if we take a look at what is going on as we speak, again, some of that light precipitation across Vancouver Island into western BC. No help for Vancouver, BC, Seattle, Portland, Pendleton, Spokane, Boise, Idaho. As you can see, some very nice weather coming up here over the next couple of days. And we scroll on into now Thursday morning. We're on into the day Thursday. We're into Thursday afternoon, and you can see some precipitation across British Columbia. I mean, maybe a stray shower across the Olympics there, but not much to speak of, just clipping the Washington border there. As we go through Friday morning, it starts to show some precipitation for the Northern Cascades, but it's not much. The bulk of that, the lion's share some of that with us down here, please. British Columbia stealing all the rainfall. In the meantime, Vancouver Island, western BC, not much for Seattle or Portland until we get towards the week, and then you can kind of see things start to change up a little bit, kind of a pattern change coming as the trough starts to get closer. Now, total precipitation in inches on the European ensemble mean for the next 6 days. It does show some of that getting down towards Bellingham and Seattle as we go on in through the day on Saturday. You can see some of that precipitation starting to show up there a bit, and then eventually into western Oregon even as we go through Sunday night. So we do have that pattern change likely coming in the 6 to 7 day time period. Right now, we're offshore. You can clearly see eastern winds coming through the Stampede Gap there, Columbia River Gorge across the Oregon Cascades, east winds across some of the Columbia Basin out there as well. A little bit of northeasterly winds coming down the Fraser River Valley, which of course is one of the main cold air conduits here for much of the area here across Puget Sound and of course British Columbia. We scroll on in through, let's see, this is Tuesday night. Now we're going on in through Wednesday morning. We start to kind of weaken that offshore flow and turn things back on onshore as we go on in towards Thursday. And when I see the westerlies start to return there a bit, so we got some weak systems moving by to the north, as I mentioned before, and then some gustier winds showing up on Thursday afternoon, including down the Strait of One. If you can see a nice little surge there as we go through Thursday afternoon. And near record highs Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll show you more on that here in a moment. You can see Grants Pass, actually, sorry, and Medford. You can see some pretty warm temperatures here today and tomorrow. Still dealing with some upper 90s. Summer like heat, not done with this just yet. And this is for today. Again, you can see Medford is down here. Willamette Valley, nice and toasty here today. And what a nice day coming up for places like Seattle, Southwest BC, up towards 80 degrees for places like Centralia, Chehalis, Olympia. Nice day east of the mountains as well if you're not dealing with the smoke. And we go through tomorrow. Again, a very nice day out there, comfortable temperatures. But we do cool things down. You can see Medford from 98 on Wednesday to 89 on Thursday. And we do cool down some of eastern Oregon and Washington as we go through Friday, as that next system tries to swing through here. And then who knows what's going to happen as we go through this weekend. But you see temperatures starting to cool down a little bit there, but still quite comfortable as we go through next week. Now, taking a look at the European artificial intelligence on the left, Gulf of Alaska view, Pacific Northwest to the right. There's the state of Alaska to the top left. We got the GFS, the drunk uncle, the global forecast system, the USA model on the right. And we go on in through this upcoming week. And you see we get that weakening of the ridge a little bit here as we go through Thursday. It rebuilds a bit, though, as we go through Friday into Saturday. But then pretty good model agreement starting to show up with a strong Gulf of Alaska troughing here. Better chance of a frontal system as we go through the upcoming week. And I'd like to see that agreement, and the Mossbacks will too as we go through the next few days. Hopefully this does not fail us and it brings a nice bout of rain for some of the region, but you can see how the models get kind of squirrely once you get up over 200 hours. Things start to diverge quite rapidly. And if we look at the artificial intelligence on the ensemble of the artificial intelligence, the ensemble members put this into motion, and you can clearly see that trough off through the extended forecast there. You know, this is about Sunday night right there, but a nice trough right off our coastal areas here, hopefully bringing some more active weather back into the Pacific Northwest. And that kind of hangs out for a bit as we go on into the early portion of October. So taking a look at that and going through the ensemble precipitation here on the artificial intelligence, some nice precipitation amounts showing up even for Western Oregon all the way down through Northern California. BC goes without saying, some big precipitation amounts. And of course, the Columbia Basin doesn't get much rain compared to the Cascades there, so that's to be expected. But you see those totals pick back up across the Rocky Mountains of BC all the way down into Idaho as well. Now, this is looking at the next 46 days. So you can see how we're dealing with these nice warm temperatures out there, very comfortable days. And some of that warmth may last on into early portions of October, but you see the rapid decline as you go through the second half of October and on into early November. It's just, you know, much more difficult to get these warm days here. It can still happen, but you see the overall gradual downward trend over the next 46 days. Same thing for Boise. These warmer temperatures are going to be a distant memory by the time we go in towards November, no doubt. And here's Pendleton, Oregon there. You can see the precipitation might start to tick up a little bit there as we go on in through November. Astoria, you can clearly see that signal showing up. Seattle, same thing there. Tofino up on Vancouver Island, it goes without saying up there as well. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook above. There's the above normal precipitation there as well. Take this all with a grain of salt, just showing this to be consistent over the next 8 to 14 days. Still shows it's above average for a lot of the region. Check out the Patreon page if you want to donate some of your hard-earned money and give that towards the channel. Patreon lets creators keep about 88 to 90% of what you donate. It's not so much with other sites. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.